What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. So today's YouTube channel is going to be about the three core values that I practice and I live by. And I mentioned it in my first YouTube channel. It's called the three core values that I go by, and that what my nonprofit is going to be. The principles are of passion and wealth. Is called mindset, entrepreneurship, and health. So mindset. It usually takes 66 to 90 days to actually acquire a habit. Um, Going through the journey of me developing my content, me basically continue on striving to uplift each other and encourage others, it takes time. And some people are not going to understand what you're doing, but the way to do it by continue on growing is sticking with it. This has definitely been the year of consistency for me, and I say that because every time something hits me with life or a trial and tribulation, I could still say consistent. The things that I fall off on, I get back up and do it again. And if I fall off going to the gym for a few months or a few weeks because of life hits me, I know it's a process in my head to get back to the gym as soon as possible. And that's what I'm in the process of doing back. Life hits me. I had to regroup, do what I had to do, and it's gonna happen again very soon and everything. So in the meantime, I just continue on enduring, continue on making the most of time, making the most of my circumstances. And that's all by feeding my brain with books that I read, programs that I read, podcasts that I listen to, being having meetings one-on-one with my accountability coach, one-on-ones with people that I endure and that are helping me grow as a person, and everything. Then entrepreneurship, I believe that everybody should have some type of side hustle. You should never, never, ever have one source of income, because it's very dangerous. I know people that are single and they do one job, but life's gonna hit you and you can't control that, but you can control how you basically get your bread. Regardless of your circumstances, regardless if you had a bad rap sheet and everything like that, you can make the most of it. You got to figure it out and go out and hustle and go out and get it. And the way to do that is by continue on enduring greatness, continue on doing what you got to do better. And entrepreneurship, I don't care if you're a professional and you have some type of side hustle, whether it's a network marketing business, affiliate marketing business, or online marketing business, you got to do something that's secondary, that will help alleviate the pain. Help alleviate finances, because life's gonna hit you away. You might, who knows? You and your significant other might get pregnant, or or you and your husband might get married. And working on getting married and stuff, and that costs. Kid gets very sick. You got to pay for that. So that's what life is about. It's never going to be just completely perfect. Every single week, every single month, it's never the same week. Every single day is not the same day. Yesterday is not the same day as today. So you got to prepare yourself and put yourself in position, and having that business, and also entrepreneurship helps you leave a legacy. Don't you want to leave a legacy for your loved ones? So I like, honestly, being in bed and reading the books that I read and stuff like that, and now implementing them, I know why entrepreneurship is definitely my second core value. The third one is health. With health, we all got to make sure that we are doing the basics. In when we get younger, yes, those habits are embedded. The parents take care of us by going to dentists routinely, going to doctor appointments routinely. But it's on us as we get older. And then on top of that, when it comes to specialists, some people are confused, and then insurances and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to acquire concepts for health insurance. And one of the books that I read a few weeks ago, it was called Change Your Life, Change Your Habits. And he said there's 4 principles of being happy. That's having good mental health, good financial health, good physical health, and then overall just make sure you're happy. And that's why I believe that if your health is not intact, then how you're going to basically want to build a business and be an entrepreneur, then how you're going to have that mindset. So it all got to be leveled out and aligned with how you're going to endure doing the things that are necessary to endure. Prime example with mindset is, if you're trying to get away from the negativity and you're so used to it. Like let's say you're brought up in the bad neighborhood and they have bad habits all the time of, getting out of school or skipping school all the time. You're going to eventually skip out of school. So you basically got to choose wisely of who you're around. If the people that you hang out with are, if they smoke weed a lot, then you're going to be, there's a possibility that you're going to be one of those people. And it's not that you're better than them. You just got to align with what topics and what things are important to you to elevate your life. And it really, the system that you're in, the people that you're around, is very important to do so. And if you don't make those necessary changes, then how are you going to grow? And you got to do that if you want to grow. I know everybody wants to basically, like, I want this type of life, I want that type of life. But the people that's getting it, the people that you say laugh at in the beginning stages, are the ones that are enduring and are elevating. And it's big time. It's because of consistency. I really call this year the consistency, because no matter how many times I've been knocked off, I get back up, and I've basically been, my time frame of me getting back up has been even more quicker. It used to take me months, weeks, and now it's taking like a few days, no more than a week, and I'm just like getting back up and just continue on growing and growing and growing. And I see my development. I see some of my past videos that I've seen in the beginning of the year to now that I do my YouTube channel, and I just see my strength, I see my drive, I see my focus, and it's because of the mindset I have. Entrepreneurship, I've been studying a lot of entrepreneurs. I read their books, I talk to them on a routine basis. Yes, a lot of them are professionals and with a side hustle, but they do know that if they stick with one job, they're gonna, at any given moment, how this economy is, it's not like how you could basically back in the day have a job for 20, 40 years and you be good. At my age, by the time I'm 40, 50, they might not even have SSI. They might not even have the unemployment, the benefits and stuff. And the only way to do that is by me staying my ground and me doing something that's outside the box and not doing the norm and not being average. It's nothing wrong with just fitting in if you want that, but I have a life that I'm obsessed with being successful, and that's acquiring the skills and the technique. So I'm the type of person that's going to go to a conference that would be in Philadelphia over just going to happy hour on a Friday. That's just me. I don't expect anybody to walk in my shoes, but I really want you guys to think about, if you want to be the better person of you and become the more of you, then you got to think outside the box. You got to start doing things differently. You can't just do the same routine. Robert Kiyosaki said it best in Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you keep on doing the same thing over and over, that's called insanity. You can't expect change if you're doing the same thing over and over. And that's like I said, those are entrepreneurs. Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, Tom Watley, Nani Burnell. Like, those are people, Raymond Fife, those are people that are doing necessary things because they're building the foundation for their legacy. And, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, those are all people that want more out of life, and they just did the necessary things to acquire it. It started with their reading a lot, started making a routine, a pattern, doing and taking massive action instead of just doing the norm. And that's by doing the things that are necessary. Now, all those things are fine and dandy, but you can't let things go on the wayside. And entrepreneurship, you can't get lazy. Yes, you want to eventually do the things that you love and outsource to others, but in the beginning stages, you got to get to work. And once you get to that point, you outsource and hire the people that are necessary to tasks that's time consuming that you don't want to do, because that's taking you away from what you love. When you're working in your purpose, working in your passion, then you're going to love what you do, not what others expect out of you, not what you really, the tedious stuff that you don't care for. You're going to outsource that, but in time, you got to start off with basically being a position agreement. You got to sign a position agreement to be in the CEO, the treasurer, the acquisition manager, personal assistant, and everything, administrative assistant, until you get to that point. And once you get to that point, you got to train your mind to make sure that you're investing in the necessary things to acquire. And that comes with health. Like you can have all the money in the world, but there's so many people that's so depressed. And look at Robin Williams, he passed away, he killed himself. Kate Spade, Those are just a list of a few actual people that made it in big in the world. Even Jet Jackson. Y'all remember Jet Jackson back in the day? I mean, he even killed himself. He had everything going for him, and he just offed himself. And that shows how we as individuals got to take the time to make things necessary that's important to us, that's going to help us grow, that's going to endure us, that's going to strengthen us, that's going to make us a better person. And the health has to come into the equation. If you're eating unhealthy but you want to run a business and you don't have the right mindset, it's gonna be a shaky situation all the time. If you basically want to lead and have people lead you, and you're not leading by example, then that's on you. And the health comes in the 7 pillars that I follow when it comes to health is physical health, spiritual health, mental health. That's the biggest one that I follow big time, and everything. You gotta be kind to the mind. What's another thing? You gotta definitely have the social, environmental, financial. You gotta acquire acquire a business health, and that's all the health that you gotta do, because if you're not where you want to be at, then you gotta basically shift around. You gotta see where is that. It's at certain levels. Each health factor is at different levels, and you gotta, in theory, you want to make them all 100%, but it's never going to be 100% because we're not perfect. So I love doing these talks, and I will be doing a whiteboard. My whiteboard is on its way and everything. So I just basically want to stay consistent in doing these live. I want to basically remember to talk about these 3 core values that I practice, and I think you should too, as you build in your life. And you definitely should you should definitely be working your mindsets from reading books, from listening to podcasts. How are you feeding your brain? That's what you got to think about. How are you feeding your brain? How are you basically developing your time and consuming your time? That's all about your mindset. How are you being influenced? Are you being mentored? Are you being coachable? Are you being open-minded and everything? Yes, there's nothing wrong with watching TV and stuff like that, but are you doing it? Are you doing it so much of it that you don't have time to basically read a book, or don't have time to do things that are going to educate your brain and stuff? So that's just align it and make sure you're not doing too much of one thing and not doing too much of the other thing. That's the way you can get aligned, and it all comes accustomed to what's important to you. Like me, as I read more books, I know that I only want to read certain books that's going to acquire based on my life. Yes, sometimes I'll take a unique book, but I really try and stick hold to books that acquire to my life. Entrepreneurship. Learn from the best. Entrepreneurs, that we all got some similarities, but we learn from the best. Why reinvent the wheel and do something abnormal? That's fine, but that's not going to get you where you need to. Find the stuff that's working and implement them into your life. When I was in the mastermind with Brad Lee, he said all entrepreneurs still basically implement and copy from each other, and then make it into their own. And that's what I'm doing right now in these lives. Like, I'm learning from everything that I learned from, whether it's the book called Expert Secret with Russell Brunson, whether it's Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone, and then I'm implementing what I've learned from them and making it into my own, so I can develop. Because some people haven't heard of Grant Cardone, some people have never heard of Gary Vee, some people have never heard of Warren Buffett maybe, and stuff. And that's because their limitation of literacy, their limitation of not educating themselves, limitation of not wanting to do more for themselves. It all comes into that. And then with the health, I see so many people complain about they don't have time for this, they don't have time for that, and it's called time blocking. We as individuals make time for what we want to make time for, and if your health is not a priority, whether you don't want to go to the doctors, whether you don't want to make that workout routine, whether you don't want to get out and be more social to people so that you can have a clear mind, whether you don't want to make that time to go to a therapist and get that mental maintenance, it's all on you. So those are my core 3 values. I hope you like them. I hope you acquire them, implement these practices in your life, and continue on watching and showing love. Subscribe to me. liked me, and that's all I gotta say for today. So you guys have a blessed one. Thank you for watching my channel today. It's definitely a growing time. It definitely affects, but in the meantime, I just want to stay consistent, stay strong. This is episode 3, so I'm gonna continue on moving forward. I'm continue on staying strong. You guys have a blessed one. Shay is on a mission. That's my nickname. That's where you can follow me on Instagram, and I think it's my Snapchat channel too as well. But overall, to continue on following platform, I'm definitely gonna do a little bit of different things on every single concept and platform a little bit. Some gonna be similar, some might be taken away from things that I said months ago and implement now, and it shows about my growth. And then some things are just gonna be just new and fresh that I've learned. I can't wait to get my whiteboard because I'm definitely start sketching some stuff and utilize it. Pass on the word. My brain is powerful. It's definitely being implemented, and I just want to give back because that's what I like to do, add value to others. And I want to continue on growing and seeing how this channel is going to escalate and grow, and that's what I'm doing it for. So you guys have a blessed, productive night, and see you guys tomorrow on episode 4. Peace.